If I asked you which came first, the high-tech mechanical lighter or the humble wooden match, you would choose the match every time. And you would be wrong. By 3 years. This is a logic glitch in history that reveals something deeper. Humanity mastered complex chemistry before simple friction. On May 15, 1823, Johann Wolfgang Dobereiner scrawled a line in his laboratory notebook that would upend the story of fire. His entry, preserved in the archives of Jena, describes a device that produces a flame with no spark, no match, no friction, just chemistry. 6 months later, the Prussian Patent Office stamped approval on Dobereiner's invention, a hydrogen-powered lighter. The patent number, 13,247, spells out a glass vessel, a zinc rod, and a platinum sponge, hardware that turns invisible gas into instant fire. Within weeks, a Berlin sales ledger tallied the first batch sold, each unit priced far beyond a worker's weekly wage. This was not a tool for the masses. Dobereiner's lamp landed on marble mantles and in velvet-lined studies, a status symbol for the scientific elite. Newspaper ads called it Feuerzeug, while Parisian patent filings followed close behind, hinting at a European craze. The evidence piles up: notebook pages, patent stamps, and sales records, all dated 1823. The lighter was not just real, it was coveted. A glass cylinder, a chunk of zinc, a splash of sulfuric acid, Dobereiner's lamp was a chemistry set disguised as a fire maker. The secret wasn't friction, it was pure reaction. When zinc meets sulfuric acid, the reaction produces hydrogen gas, bubbling up on command. That hydrogen didn't just sit there, it rushed straight to a platinum sponge perched above the reservoir. Platinum, almost magical in its ability, grabs hydrogen and oxygen from the air and locks them together. The result was water vapor and a sudden surge of heat. The platinum surface jumps to around 500 degrees Celsius in seconds, hot enough to ignite the hydrogen jet with no spark, no match, no friction. Just invisible chemistry made visible by a blue-white flame. Safety came with a warning: open the stopcock too fast, and pressure could shatter the glass. Hydrogen leaks meant risk of fire or even a small explosion. Safety wasn't an afterthought. It was a caption stamped in police records and city ordinances. Dobereiner's lamp was science at your fingertips, but it demanded respect. The next leap, making fire even simpler, would come with its own set of hazards. John Walker wasn't a chemist chasing glory. He was a pharmacist cleaning his shop when fate struck. In 1826, he mixed antimony sulfide and potassium chlorate into a paste, dabbed it on a wooden stick, and scraped it by accident. The result? A sudden flare, bright and smoky, that caught even him off guard. Walker's sister wrote in her diary that he called it a happy accident. He never filed a patent. Instead, he let the formula spread. By August 22, 1826, a classified ad in the Leeds Mercury promised friction matches for sale, a stick anyone could strike into flame. For the first time, fire belonged to everyone, not just the well-off or the well-equipped. White phosphorus was supposed to be the match industry's miracle fix. It made matches light every time, no matter how damp the air or how rough the surface. But inside the factories, a different reaction was brewing. Medical logs from the United Match Company list over 1,400 cases of a disease called Phossy Jaw, necrosis that ate away at the jawbone, leaving workers disfigured or dead. The mortality rate reached 21%. The Wellcome Collection's photographs show hollowed faces and exposed bone, each image a record of the price paid for reliable fire. Dr. Emma Kellogg, a medical historian, called white phosphorus matches a silent killer, carving a scar across the faces of an entire generation. The push for ever cheaper, ever easier ignition had turned a daily convenience into a public health disaster. Reform was no longer a question of innovation, but of survival. Relief arrived in 1844 when Gustav Erik Pasch patented a new kind of match that rewrote the rules of ignition. Instead of packing white phosphorus into the match head, Pasch shifted the chemistry to the striking surface, using red phosphorus, a stable allotrope that would not poison the air. The match head itself now held only potassium chlorate and a safe binder. With this single move, the daily risk of Phossy Jaw began to vanish. But invention alone was not enough. It took Johan Lundström's factory in Sweden, starting in 1855, to bring the safety match to the world at scale. By the end of that year, his ledgers tracked thousands of boxes shipped across Europe, each bearing a strip of red phosphorus. The safety match was not just an idea, it was a manufactured cure, stamped with patent numbers and sold by the crate. The age of accidental poisonings was finally closing, thanks to chemistry and a clever bit of Swedish engineering. A flick of a modern lighter unleashes a spark hotter than molten lava, 3,000 degrees Celsius, born from a pinch of engineered metal. That spark comes from ferrocerium, a synthetic alloy patented in 1903 made of about 70% cerium, blended with lanthanum, iron, and magnesium. It is not real flint, but a lab-forged fire starter that spits out near plasma when scraped. The fuel inside lighters has shifted too, from Dobereiner's hydrogen to naphtha in the Zippo era to the butane sealed in every Bic. Each leap in fuel made the flames safer, cleaner, and more predictable. Dr. Luis Torres, a materials scientist, calls ferrocerium the bridge between the dangerous chemistry of the 1800s and the pocket marvels we carry today. Inside a disposable lighter, every detail is engineered for safety and speed. A pressurized metal chamber holds liquid butane sealed tight until a tiny valve releases just enough gas for a controlled flame. The spark wheel scrapes against ferrocerium, spitting molten sparks hotter than a welding torch. All this fits in your pocket for about $1.50. That price buys thousands of reliable flames and keeps the fuel locked away from accidents. No toxic fumes, no risk of jaw rot, just a clean click and fire on demand. The design looks simple, but every piece is a calculated answer to the dangers that haunted earlier ways of making fire. A machine that spits hydrogen fire beats a wooden match by 3 years, logic shattered. Chemistry outpaces simplicity. Inventions don't follow sense, they follow surprise. Which would you risk, desk bomb or jaw rotter? Drop your answer below.